guest, the mystery guest we started with, where we're unveiling him right away. So, ladies and gentlemen, here you go. That is our guest right now on the show in a couple of minutes. Enioluwa Adeoluwa joins us. You know him as a lot of things: influencer, content creator, fashion. Is it icon now? Is it a fashion trendsetter? The list goes on and on. We speak to him in a moment. So stay with us. It's still the morning brief.
See, if you're going to look for a job, better don't carry your friend, though. That's how my friend say, okay, let him follow me to look for a job. Me, I didn't mind, though, because it's his uncle that owns the place, and they said they're looking for care workers. I said, which one is care worker again? The man said, do I know how to take care of the babies? I said, yes. He said, do I know how to read and write? I said, a lawyer. So it's kindergarten, I'll be primary school, that this man is calling care worker. I knew there was fire on the mountain when our boss stopped us in the middle of the road and we had to push What I didn't know is that the fire in front is even worse. Can someone explain to me why people are so wicked? This is not a kindergarten, this is a farm, a poultry. I'm not a care worker, I'm a laborer. See this here, wicked like his uncle. We decided to work since they said they'll pay us 30k per day. This Eni said that this his uncle does not count the chicken, that we should take 1 or 2. Eni, you ate 4 chickens today. Me, I don't do that kind of thing. I was just looking at him as he was eating. We're asking ourselves, why is it that one is always like this? When do that people go and find job? They're working in Google, in Microsoft. Look at us. On a farm. Eni, very good at communicating with cows. The cows were just following him once he says moo. Maybe he's a cow or he knows because he behaves like a cow. I don't know. The thing about me is that I have respect, and that's my problem. Because when we finished working, this man said 30k. This man said that it was a mistake, that he meant 3k. That will he pay us 30k per day. 3,000 naira. My money was not even complete when I got home and counted it. Sir, that was 2,600 naira. He promised us 30k each and we took matters into our own hands. While getting the money he promised us by hook or by crook. I was a bit scared at first, but I got over it. So please, patronize us this Christmas. We have goats. Although there's one little problem. The goats does not do meh, east to back, but it's good. If they come and rob you, they will think you have dog. How was your own day?
So that's just a little of the work he does on and off social media. Enioluwa Adeoluwa is with us on the morning brief this morning. Enioluwa, how you doing?
I'm good, I'm all right. I'm excited to be here.
I must say, lovely jacket.
Oh, thank you. I try not to do too much because I'm like, it's morning, so just keep it calm.
So if it is not too much, what would it look like?
Like, star-studded and all like the diamonds and pearls, but I'm like, let's keep it simple. Let's keep it simple.
Okay, Enioluwa.
Keep it simple and green.
Absolutely. Yeah. A lot of people know the different sides of you on social media, but it's interesting that there's a backstory to who you are. First-class student, master's with distinction. Now you're studying for a PhD, if I'm correct. So what's going on with you, Enioluwa? Why is it just you that has packed all of that into one person?
I'm from Ekiti State. I think that's a very big reason for it. And again, I think people who are from Ekiti, book is something that we just sort of, have so much interest in.
It comes easy to you.
Yeah, it comes easy, actually. So that's a joke. That's not why. Well, school comes easy to me. I do like education, and I do like the idea of reading and, getting degrees. And also, when you're young and you have so much time and space, the best advice for me is to, get it up and get your degrees and get responsible with it as well, because also influencing is very shaky. You're never sure. At some point it may not be relevant. You don't know what next year is, and so you're looking at having sort of like a standby for yourself. So in case of anything happens, that I have things to fall back on. And I have yes, exactly. I have degrees. I could go back to my 9 to 5 and work corporate again as well. So yeah, it's also part of that. It's like a tiny little strategy in there. So.
Interesting. So let's talk about why do you think people love your personality? Because a lot of people will look at you and will try to deconstruct you, maybe to copy you, basically, to replicate what you're doing, because a lot of people love the attention on social media. They will do anything for it. 1,000 likes, 1,000 followers and the rest. So why do you get so much attraction? What do you think endears you to a lot of people?
I think what social media uses is real. So I'm sort of very open with the way I feel. I'm very open with what I think and my ideas as well. I'm also very concrete on how I think the world should be as well. And I don't try to hide or mask, try to pretend in a certain way to make people think or have a certain perception of me. And I think a lot of young people like, people being real. And so they sort of can emulate and see, oh, you're able to do this, so I can emulate and also find reasons to do it this way as well. And I think that's what a lot of people really like. And I like it as well because, every time I'm watching someone else or watching on social media or offline, I'm looking at someone I can emulate and, learn from as well. And the only way we can learn from people is if they show us the bad and the good side. And I think that's fair.
So that brings the question on money. I like to talk about money because, at the end of the day, viability is important, which is why you say it's quite volatile for people within that space, at least right now. So you need to put all these degrees somewhere and say, okay, just in case it doesn't work, we have something to fall back to. So how viable is this? Because a lot of people are content creators, which is why we're bringing loads of them, or loads of you guys to the program to share perspectives so that others can be inspired. I know that most of the time when we ask straight questions, it's difficult to answer straight answers. If I say, how much do you make in a month and all of that. But walk us around viability and how to keep that thing sustainable.
To be fair, content creation, everybody says it's the new cash cow in the moment. But the way I see it is that with every business, you have to save for the rainy days and also understand your business as well. And so you've looked at people who have existed in the industry before you. Fairly, content creation is new. Nobody knows the future of it. The set of influencers and set of content creators you have now are the new set. You've only had people who have worked in film and, just worked in the entertainment space. And, so at the end of the day, we're seeing people who have worked in film and the entertainment space sort of not save up for rainy days. And so you have young people now who are informed and can make better propositions for themselves. And so are looking at it, I need to save up for rainy days, make money, make as much money as I can and diversify my income as well and diversify my money. And to be very honest, a lot of advertisers are putting their money in content creation because it's easy to influence people because you're actually using products and people are seeing you use those products, so they're easily influenced because you're telling them the truth as well. I do not like this product, I like this product. And so to be fair, a lot of advertisers do put their money there. But there are days, for example, average influencers know that in January we don't make money. Yes, because brands are just planning their yearly strategy. Right. So, for example, I've not done any work in January, and so in December, for example, I had to work overtime, but that's also because of years of experience. I know that I have to work overtime in December. So most times you find us working overtime while every show, yes, you're like, I got to save up for January. I got to save up for January and February. So, that way you can save money. So I think it's the same with every business. Just, save up for rainy days. Really. So
the reason I ask is because the way influencers and content creators buy houses, and these houses are not cheap. Right. Is it that much? Is it that lucrative? Do you understand that?
Yes, I do understand what you're saying. There are two sides to influence, and to be honest, and also a lot of people who buy houses. I've not bought a house.
I was going to ask.
I've not bought a house yet, but a lot of people. There are two sides to influence, and there's the corporate side, and there's this side where people do different SMEs. They don't have to necessarily, today if I do a bank, I may not be able to do a bank for the next 6 months, and there are specific people who can do 5 brands, and they're just,
they're promiscuous.
They're just taking so much money. And yes, they would be able to afford, houses, cars, and a lot of people do YouTube and Facebook and all of these platforms also pay people as well. And so a lot of influencers and content creators do make a lot of money. Sometimes I'm jealous as well, so just say it out there. But I know that on social media a lot of people get worried and like, where are you getting money from? Oh, they do have money. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Interesting. I'm learning a lot, and I must say you have very good form. In fact, those who are watching you right now, they're already commenting about how you have good skin formation, and that brings me to one of the things that is known about you. You're into makeup. In fact, I've seen you, one or two times use the under eye, and you're known as the lip gloss guy. Right. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. Speaking of some of the things that are good about you, you're also a very good writer. I've read some of your advocacy for men who are feminists. Let me just read what I have read. I believe the term effeminate is a derogatory term to men who act in a certain way, as if to think there is a defined way which a man should be. You may not like to say it, but it's all about toxic masculinity. There is no one way to be a man. So what's toxic masculinity?
Oh, wow, I'm surprised you found that. That's more like 2020. But growing up, I grew up in Accra, Ondo State, and then I also grew up in Adeoluwa State. And you grew up with men who did not express themselves, men who sort of lived life very stoic and very rigid. And I don't think people should live life like that. I don't think young people should emulate such. And you want people to be able to go through life and know that they found joy and they found peace. And when they went home, they were happy with their families and they love to spend time with families. And especially in this part of the world, it's such a thing to be hard and to be rigid, and it's like we celebrate things more when we don't get it easily. And so even when you go to an office and you want to collect a document and they just give it to you, you're like, why? Like, why are you just giving me? But when they take you through a particular process, you're like, I fought for it. And life is supposed to be lived happily and easy and fun, and you should enjoy the moments and know that, when I'm leaving the world, I will live to my life happily, and other people who were in the world with me would also be happy that he lived a good life. And that's really what I advocate for. I want everybody who is a man or a woman or anybody, just go through life, living life happily and enjoy life. Life is for the living. So
is it okay for a man to be effeminate?
I think, to be honest, that's the way you grew up. Nobody's going to change the way you were built. I mean, you can try and society can help you adjust certain things. But to me, whenever anybody asks me that question, I just tell you that if you're not hurting anybody or causing harm to anybody, then you should let people live life the way they want to live. And again, focus on your business. People should spend time focusing on the things that do matter. Fuel prices, the state of the economy, labor market. There's so much to focus on, and those are quite irrelevant stances.
Sorry, pardon me, I have two more questions in that mix. So, is it learned or is it natural for men who are effeminate? When I say learned, is this something they learned growing up? When I say natural, is this something that they are born with?
Right. I could only speak from my own experience, and to be fair, that's the way I was born, talk a certain way or walk a certain way. And again, like I said, society can, change perspective to things. As you also grow, a lot of things change, and so it's not the same way that you experienced life when you were growing up, the same way you experience it as an adult. Yeah. And so you can only learn to change certain things, but like I said, my idea and concept of life is, if you're not harming anybody or causing hurt to anybody, then people should be allowed to live life the way they want to live, because you and again, like I always say, if we all went about the world telling people what we're uncomfortable with about them, the way they look, the way they dress, or the way they sit, so I looked at you and said, I don't like the way you sit, then we might as well all be walking with our heads on the ground, And so I say it every time, let people be who they want to be and leave them to be who they want to be, and let people just enjoy their lives, really.
We're going to get to the point, because we talked about there are other issues going on in the world. We'll come to like a political or current affairs trivia. We'll ask you some questions.
I'm not going to know any.
Hey, first class student distinction.
I'm not going to know any.
And I know you follow politics, so simple questions, basically. And this is essentially to raise awareness, because there's a lot of, young people who consume other things besides news. So some of them think they're politically aware, but not as much when it comes to governance.
Yeah,
so
I think there's a reason too, anyway.
Which we'll get into. It's
Okay.
important we have that conversation.
Yeah.
But I need to follow up with what Bukola said. Because a lot of people will say then you'll be getting different attentions from different people. So how do you handle attention? I imagine ladies give you attention. Do men give you attention as well?
How would you know? I mean, to be honest, you are an exemplary person in the world, and so people would always reach out to you to learn from you and to talk to you, and just want to learn from you. And so, of course, people do reach out to both genders, but most times I don't think the way the world looks at it in the perspective of when you're famous, people are always going to reach out to you to maybe ask you out all of that. No, I don't think so.
So no one is asking?
No, I don't think so. I don't even do love. I'm very.
We've seen images with Hilda Bassi, then another lady who's your close friend.
Oh, Priscilla.
Yes.
Wow.
So a lot of people are asking questions, and you're not staying in one place.
Stay in one place. Let's not to grab you.
So we need to know.
Kayode, sorry, you said something. You're not into love right now.
No,
Kayode, please let's follow up on that.
That's the point I'm asking. So where are you, Enioluwa? Is it with Hilda Bassi? Is it with
Priscilla?
Priscilla?
Priscilla and I are very good friends. That one is sure. We're very good friends. We spend a lot of time together.
Yeah, that's what they always say.
We hang out together. Hilda Bassi and I are friends. I think Hilda is also in a relationship, in a public relationship. So that's why. Yeah.
Okay.
Priscilla isn't.
Okay, let's talk.
Enioluwa, Adeoluwa, Principal, Victor. No,
What's going on?
He's not in a relationship.
Right.
And he doesn't plan to in any maybe like in July. That's around my birthday period. So
You're still in your early 20s.
You're still in your early
it's in my
20s.
If I'm correct.
Yeah, so that things could change, right? Yeah, I'm in my early 20s.
Brilliant.
All right, quite young. Okay, let's move on now to food. Tell us your love. Tell us about your love for food.
Why am I smiling?
Let's go there.
Yeah, because if you see his page, there's so much food, and it comes out like, okay, Enioluwa, where's the food exactly? Where is it going? So it's like you have a body that can really accommodate this thing. But before we talk about how it reflects on you, because you look great, as a matter of fact, but let's talk about why your love for food. Okay, that's you.
Oh no.
And you never do one plate.
I know,
Right.
I don't know, like.
Because I deserve to eat as much as I want to. That's the goal.
So talk about, is it that you love food, or this is just a strategy for entry into the social media space? What exactly is this?
Oh, for entry, I'm not in the entry stage anymore.
No,
I'm kidding. Okay, that's like
okay.
young shade.
Yeah,
young
we
shade.
know.
No.
Well, let's talk about your food life and all of that.
Yeah, I do love food, and also it helps me appreciate like the different cultures and traditions that exist in Nigeria. And so sometimes I've traveled for food, and you get to eat something and you're like, oh, I didn't know this exists in this part of the world. And so food is good. Food is for the living. That's me making amala and the way to Atigbegiri.
But this was years ago, by the way.
No, this was this year.
Oh, really?
During I was breaking my fast, and so I made amala.
Oh, see, you actually look different. So I thought this was years ago.
Oh, do I look younger?
Okay, let's just hear what you know. Let's help the audience. Let's hear what's maybe the director. Let's hear what he was doing.
My life, I drink water, I sleep back, I wake up, I try to do everything. By 3:18, I was already getting thinner. I said, let me go and cook. Maybe by the time I finish cooking, it will already be 6. So I cooked amala. I went to begiri and stew. As I was cooking the stew, I almost tasted it. I said, devil, let me tell you, I cooked begiri. I cooked the amala. More raw amala here. Let me tell you, my mother always said, you do not put the amala on the ground like this, you not started cooking it. By the time I finished cooking it, it wasn't still yet 6. I said, let me go and my bath. By the time I came out, it was already 6. You people, I started with the amala. I consumed. Hey, did I remember to pray like this? Brethren, let's pray. Every arrow against our destiny, die by fire. Anybody that say they will not grieve for us in 2023, if we do not grieve for them.
You're eating with the white shirt.
To yourself. Oh yes, that's when you're not an expert. You eat with your white shirt and you don't get a stain on it. Expertise.
Right.
Well, it's so different hearing yourself like.
Yeah, we get that a lot as well when you're listening to yourself.
I thought I was going to be a broadcaster when I was young.
But you're doing that now.
But you're doing that already. You hosted Robin Minds at some point when the book was not around.
Okay, well, fair, yeah.
Okay,
just once. But you know, like when you were growing up and because you talk a lot, everybody says, oh, you should consider broadcasting. Yeah.
Let's not be distracted. Food.
Oh, okay.
He's trying to distract us. We're going back to this food.
Let's talk food.
Right.
Why you love food?
I do love food because food is life. Food is sweet. Food makes you happy. I always say food will never cheat on you. Your partner will cheat on you, but food will never. And again, food helps you appreciate cultures. And I'm not Igbo. I can get to eat off ensala. I could travel to Kano and eat tuwo shikafa, and just also have a taste of the culture there. And food connects people together. So that's it. That's it for me with food.
Speaking of culture, I hope you're going to pardon me and we'll still be friends after I ask.
You in particular, I'm not sure.
She's like your biggest fan, by the way.
Oh, are you serious?
Oh, okay. Thank you, Kari. You've been very kind, as always.
Let me throw that in so that in case any is being serious about not.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Okay. Speaking of cultures, and again, pardon me. We're in an African society where there are expectations, about genders. And I know you've heard this a lot. Are you concerned, about the outlook of African societies, families towards how certain genders are supposed to be, the expectations about how men are supposed to carry themselves? They're not supposed to wear makeup. They're not supposed to act like women. Do you have concerns about role modeling for African families, those who express concern that Enioluwa is effeminate?
One, I'm like 1% of 1%. I started my PhD at age 23. So I finished from university at age 19 with a first class. So if anybody's worried about any other thing and they're looking for where to draw inspiration from, I always say that, well, I have such a range for you to draw inspiration from. And I tell people every time, I'm not sure your father finished from the university at age 19 with a first class. So if you can't learn from your father and you're looking to me, then you should, look at the positive or what you consider positivity and, just emulate it as well. And at the end of the day, I'm not going to live my life to impress any other person. I'm going to live my life for me and advise people to live their lives for themselves as well. And so I say every time that I'm not clay. You're not remodeling me to fit into your own perspective. I'm not going to be perfect for you. And so you select the positive sides of people and then you emulate that. And again, with the society and culture and tradition, culture is made by men, and so it's constantly changing and changes to the way we see things and the perspective of life. And so I don't think that what exists right now is going to exist 10 years from now. And so growing up, for example, women couldn't do certain things, for example, and a woman can't get married to someone else and the person would, take the nationality of a Nigerian, for example. And those things are going to change and they need to change and they have to change. And, for example, men could not do certain things before. I know my father didn't grow up with his father saying, I love you to him. But I grew up with my father saying, oh, I love you dearly, Eni, and I will say I love you too. And, that sort of makes me happy. So every time I end the call, I'm concerned about something, I can go to my father and talk to him and know that there is peace at home, there is love at home. Right. And again, like I always say, a lot of people, say these things, but a lot of people wish they had homes like that. And so instead of wishing, why don't you change your home and make it better? And so with the next generation that comes after you as well, lives life happily and, you're also not doing it for yourself. You're doing it for your family, for your children that will come after as well.
I'm sure you're doing a lot of work responding to some of those concerns on a daily basis, which naturally...
I don't respond on social media.
You don't, right?
No, I intentionally don't respond on social media.
So I'm privileged.
Okay. Because it's a big issue. But as we wind down, Enioluwa, quite a number of things we want to speak to, what to expect from you this year, but I need to ask you about current affairs. I have 4 questions for you, Enioluwa. So let's go.
First, let me tell you something. Rather than embarrass myself, and if I don't know anything, I'm just going to act like I don't. I'm just going to...
You just act like you didn't hear, pardon me? Right. So let's go. These are questions you obviously know. Who is the Speaker of the House of Representatives?
I actually do not know.
Who is the Senate President?
I don't know either.
Who is the Vice President?
No idea.
I know what you're doing. Okay. What are the tiers of government that we have? The 3 tiers of government.
I'm not sure.
What are the,
That's not true.
I'm not sure. Is it legis? No.
That's not true.
Go ahead. 3 tiers. So tiers. Let me help you. Tiers. Like
the
this.
executive.
Tiers. Arms of government.
Yeah.
Is different from tiers of
Tiers.
government.
That's what I say. I'm
So
not
arms
sure.
of government, executive, legislature,
Legislative.
judiciary.
Yeah.
Then tiers is more like federal, state,
State
and local.
Okay.
But let's end with this one. Oh, you can
I
ask your own.
have a simpler one. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe just give a prediction for Nigeria and Angola. Do you watch football? That's future
The
current
AFCON
affairs.
one.
Yes. You don't even watch football too?
No.
Oh boy.
You see what
And you know, I don't
tweet
believe.
about
I don't believe you.
So you
So what
can.
do you watch?
Me?
What do you watch?
Oh no, I spend my time reading my books.
Oh.
Final one.
No. I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
This is the final one for orientation or awareness. If a road is bad, if there's potholes on the road, what do you think is the best approach to fixing it? Who do you go to maybe report? Do you write a petition? Do you go to your representative? Because I want Nigerians to also think about how to jointly fix Nigeria's problem. So if you see a bad road, what do you think is the best approach to ensuring it's fixed?
So ensuring that the road is fixed.
Yeah, as a citizen.
Okay, I'll answer that one. I think that
You like that?
no, it's not about. I'll say 2 things. I'll say one, why young people with governance and avoid such conversations, and there's a reason why. And again, it's something that I don't want us to ignore. You have why. The question is, why are young people not interested anymore?
Exactly.
Because you've been in a system that's not worked for you, and you've shown interest and it has not worked. And so I come on an interview, and I'm at a panel session and everybody's asking me questions, and I'm like, okay, so when I answer, it's what's going to happen after? Like, you're not going to be like, and the minister
All
said,
will change, right?
yeah, nothing. So people are losing interest as well, and so we need to try and work with. It's not just about knowing, like, my President Buhari, or the Senate President. It's also, how do we get young people involved in all of these things? And you're talking about portals and say, oh, everybody's signed to a ward, and I go and report to the ward who represents my ward, and all of that. And instead of saying, oh, my governor needs to fix it, but that's also because the average individual in the country is not even going to know all of these things, because the person you're supposed to report to is supposed to be present in his life. It's supposed to be there. Like, he's not supposed to go and read it in a textbook and say, okay, I report to this person. If the person is supposed to show himself, because he knows that, oh, I'm concerned about these people, I represent these people, and so you come and say, oh, we represent. I don't talk about.
Absolutely.
I don't talk about
this
the
is the
country.
point we were going to raise about this, the trivia and the rest. And I hope a lot of young people are watching you, because you are like a shining light for them. Is it Gen Z body now? What?
Gen Z per.
There you go. So a lot of people look up to you, and it's great that you are shining the light academically and the rest. So hopefully one of these days we'll see you get involved in governance, maybe more active.
Like a position.
In different ways.
Run for political
you don't have to run for political office. You can also get involved in different ways.
Right.
Perhaps that will drive the attention. But Enioluwa, it's been an honor having you on the show. I know how much work we had to do to capture you into the studio.
I'm big fans of the broadcasting network as well. So
it's a mutual feeling.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Enioluwa, Adeoluwa, thank you so
for
much
having
for your
me.
time.
Thank you.
We're going to
bring you
have
back.
a conversation with you soon.
Yeah. That time I would know the name of the person.
So there you go, Enioluwa.
I probably screened some people out.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
You know him as Eni, and you follow him on social media, see his content. We have him live. Keep the conversation ongoing on social media as well. Thank you so much, Enioluwa. Have a fantastic day.
Thank you.
So we'll take a moment now. When we return, we'll talk about the inspiring story of 2 gentlemen. One of them a laborer, a tiler, the other a producer, and their video has since gone viral. We'll get them in studio to do what they know how to do best, and that's the moment. Stay with us.